There's a light of mine, and I know the shine.
Joshua Brown's song is one of hope and happiness.
Let it shine. A boom, boom, boom.
A little guy thankful for the little things, like his favorite toys
I'm gonna let it shine.
and his favorite team,
Dun, 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 dun.
the St. Louis University Billikens. Appreciating Joshua's joy comes with knowing his journey. He's battled brain cancer since he was 2 months old.
He didn't walk until he was 4 years old. He didn't eat solid foods till he was probably almost 5.
Now 9 years old, that familiar foe returned for a rematch.
In December of 2012 was when we found out that there were new spots growing.
But this time around, Joshua fought cancer with a medical team and a basketball team. He connected with the Billikens through Friends of Jacqueline, an organization pairing kids fighting brain cancer with college and high school sports teams.
His personality just blossomed when he was around them.
And around no one more than Jake Barnett.
I was just like, wow, here's a kid who has confidence, who has spunk, who clearly is battling, but still, has a great attitude about it.
The Billikens rallied Josh through radiation. He hung with them on the hardwood.
That was the one they signed and gave to us for his birthday.
Teamed together,
Get out there and beat those other teams.
Slew did just that.
Will take it himself. The defense down for Ellis.
Historic success meant a trip to the NCAA tournament. National exposure for the team and Joshua.
You're looking at Joshua Brown, 9 years old, and he's been battling brain cancer.
Three-pointer made, the first one of the night for the Bills.
But one round into the big dance,
The Ducks are moving on.
the music stopped for St. Louis U. Basketball games, like life, can't last forever. Less than 3 months after Slew's season ticked to a close, the clock was winding down for Joshua.
The tumor had spread dramatically the end of April. Within 10 days of when we had that MRI, he was in a coma.
On Sunday, June 2nd, after a month in a coma,
Taking longer to breathe, taking longer to take a breath, until he just stopped breathing.
Really, the last thing that I remember was when he was going into the coma. He said lots of praise, and we've always kind of wondered about that. It's like, well, where did that come from?
I think in those moments, everything kind of slows down, and you start remembering, oh man, like this is for real. Like, he's not here anymore. I won't go to his house and see him, tomorrow.
Jake spoke at Joshua's funeral.
Here's a kid who struggled, who had a lot of problems, but yet in hindsight had a hope and a motivation that was not of this earth.
Through wins and devastating losses, teammates pick each other up. The Billikens carried Joshua to his final resting place.
We have all the confidence in the world that he is in heaven, that he is healed.
For the Browns, part of moving forward
I would be ironing his dress shirts before he would go to school.
means going back to a place and people keeping Joshua's memory alive.
On behalf of Billiken Basketball, Athletic Director Chris May would like to present a 2012-2013 Atlantic 10 Conference Championship ring to the Brown family.
Isn't that beautiful?
Wow.
No, it has his name on it. It makes you proud as a mom to know that, Joshua's influence was so huge in just that short time.
An influence the Browns share through their foundation, Joshua's Great Things.
Every night before Joshua would go to bed, he would say, God will do great things in me. And he wouldn't go to sleep until he said it. And we believe that. That's how he lived his life, doing great things, influencing people. And that's what we want to see continue.
Living life on borrowed time, Joshua Brown shared his greatest gifts: hope, happiness, and a light that shines eternal.
Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
I'm Mike Colombo, News 4. the football field, where grace and brutality are celebrated.
When I was on the field, there was no one that was ever going to be tougher than I was.
These days, Ryan Estep brings that mentality to a different arena.
Ready? Fence. A gentleman's sport, a high-class sport.
Underneath the bleachers of Central High School's football field is the Louisville Fencing Center. As inconspicuous as its location are its inhabitants. United States Olympians, training under the tutelage of famed instructor Maestro Les Stawicki.
Everyone can be a fencer if he is brave enough.
Ryan Estep's bravery transcends sport.
August 18th, 2005, it was my grandmother's birthday.
Driving home from football practice, Ryan's mom called asking him to pick up a gallon of milk.
We're on this old country road, so we took the long way, so we'd run past the gas station. And my tire came off my truck, and it pulled us into the ditch. And we only had enough momentum to flip one time.
1049. 192 raised eyes, EMS isn't on scene yet.
I ended up breaking 2 vertebrae, ended up leaving me paralyzed from the waist down.
Forced to forget gridiron glory, during rehab, Ryan found fencing, wheelchair fencing.
Oh no!
Now, just 2 years after the accident, this Louisiana native has made a name for himself on the world stage.
Everyone around the world in wheelchair fencing calls me redneck.
But his skill is world class.
I am the current reigning national champion. I am #1 in the United States and have been for about 13 months now.
It's his attitude. I need to have somebody who give me the opportunity to teach, and fortunately, Ryan gave me this opportunity. My job is easy. Up, yes.
Coupled with a triumphant spirit, Ryan's outlook on life has him primed to achieve his golden goal at this summer's London Olympics.
Of everything that comes your way, just accept the challenge to be courageous and go out and do it.
Famer Bob Gibson.
In a town known as baseball heaven, Cardinal Nation's boisterous blessings are usually reserved for Redbirds.
The base burglar, Hall of Famer Lou Brock.
But this week, Cardinal fans praised an opponent.
We are honored to salute New York Yankees great Derek Jeter as he concludes a brilliant career this season.
St. Louis is a fitting stop on Jeter's farewell tour because a native St. Louisan paved the way for this pride of the Yankees.
And Elston Howard smashes a single to center. The 6th hit of the series for the steady Yankee catcher.
He was the second Jackie Robinson.
The year was 1955, and Vashon High School product Elston Howard had just become the first African-American to play for the New York Yankees, a moment in history Martin Matthews remembers well.
He was a pioneer for not only St. Louis, but I think throughout the world for young African-Americans. Let it know if Elston Howard can do it, I can do it.
Elston Howard, the 3rd Yankee All-Star catcher.
Howard's historic 1963 campaign featured one of his 9 All-Star appearances and his first of 2 Gold Gloves. At season's end, he became the first black player to win the American League's MVP award.
To be on that team and be the first African American, he had to be able to play and play real well. So yeah, we know he was a force and a factor.
Racism was also a force and factor.
The historic community of Princess Anne, Maryland, became a racial battleground today.
Howard's wife Arlene shared something Jackie Robinson often told her husband.
He used to say to Elston, you know, I feel that your job is tougher than mine because the Dodgers wanted me. They came after me. They signed me. But the Yankees really didn't want Elston or I guess any African-American player at the time.
Controversy spurred camaraderie with Howard's Yankee teammates.
Yogi Berra, Whitey Ford, Mickey Mantle, All these players were wonderful to him and just embraced him.
Though his life changed in a New York minute, Howard saw St. Louis as a place where time stood still.
He was very much a family man, so that was very, very important to him to still ground his roots in St. Louis.
The home where Howard's roots were planted as a young boy once stood here in this empty lot overlooking the Compton Avenue Bridge. It's gone now, like Elston. He died young at 50 of a heart condition, but his memory is very much alive just a few miles from here.
Elston Howard is our Jackie Robinson. This is a history lesson just like Martin Luther King.
That history is on display at Howard's alma mater, Vashon High School. His Hall of Fame plaque sits feet from his portrait inside the field house that bears his name.
When I see that picture, I see greatness. I see hard work, I see talent, and I see an amazing man.
Feelings shared from the prep ranks to the pros.
It goes without saying, being the first African American in Yankee history. You know, what he's done, he's paved the way, helped pave the way for players like myself to come along.
You see, baseball fans love their legends. And we're lucky when another team's legend passes through town.
And what an ovation for Derek Jeter.
We are even luckier to have a legend like Elston Howard from our town. I'm Mike Colombo, News 4.